Welcome back. We're here with a very special guest.
The one and only Pink.
Panther. Do-do, do-do, do-do.
Cue the music.
Hey, buddy. How you doing there?
He's just hanging out, literally.
We've got him there on purpose because one of the topics our marketing mixologist asked us is, how does MyPro acquire super high-level credentials? We're going to dig into that through different manufacturers. Of course, you know, we're not getting paid or anything like that by any of these guys, but we do choose, again, per our company culture, to do business with manufacturers, supply reps, all of our counsel, CPA, everything like that align with our company culture. And the support that we get, legit, not just the yip-yapping of the sales guys that work for the manufacturers, but the legit, you do what you say and say what you do, support that we get from these manufacturers is a factor. And then equally or more importantly is the quality of the material. I mean, that's for real deal. There's junk out there that they've got good supply reps and we could probably build a good relationship with, but I wouldn't put that stuff on my doghouse. I'm definitely not going to provide it to a client. That's our fiduciary responsibility, is to, in best discernment, give you the best material. And if our manufacturers don't support what we're doing and we've got a problem on the ground, how are we going to service that? A couple of highlights that we have that I'm going to turn over to you, Bobby, is Platinum Preferred Contractors is super hard to get with OC. Very honored to have that. We achieved the Gold Star status with CertainTeed for our commercial division on that old school hot mop with the super stinky kettle we bring out and pump hot asphalt up and do a bunch of multi-layers. Rock star roof. Yeah. Man, nobody hardly does it. And we're really good at it. And we have I believe, what is the highest credential to do that. Stone-coated steel, standing seam, all that stuff. It's taken a long time to get the verification from the manufacturer to just say that, hey, we know what we're doing. So it gives the client peace. Yeah. So let's talk about OC for a minute. How did we get that, Bobby? How long did it take? What do we have to do to get it?
Oh, gosh. So we've had it for about 10 years now. We've been platinum with OC for 10 years. Prior to that, we'd sell anything and everything, right? So we didn't know what we didn't know. So, yeah, to get that, I mean, you've got to be pot committed. You know, you can't just say, oh, yeah, I'll put on OC, and then you go the next week and you're installing something else. You know, now if a customer requests something, I'll generally either, yep, that's a good choice, or let's look at this, right? So typically I don't give them that option. I bring the best.
Yep.
So that's all they know, right? And I explain why it's the best. So back to the certification, you got to do it right. I mean, you got to go all the way down the deck. You can't just take shingles off and put shingles on.
They randomly inspect your jobs.
They did. Right when we first got certified, they called me up and I met them out there and they did a destructive investigation on a roof. Now we fixed it and they paid us to fix it. But
to verify we were doing it per manufacturer spec.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Make sure we were using their underlaminate, their ice and water, all their products. You know, because when we put that warranty on that roofing system, it's got to be done right.
OC is awarded an international ethical award year after year after year after year. It seems to always be on the big screen when we're at the Platinum Conference. And again, other manufacturers that I'm not going to name, you can basically buy into whatever credential palette you want to be able to provide to your marketplace, right? That is not the case at all with OC. It's a very select few. I mean, my numbers are probably outdated, but it typically ranges between about 18 to 21 contractors are platinum preferred in North Texas out of, 20,000 contractors? Yeah. It's not just purchasing, right? Because we're not a huge company. We're more on quality than numbers. They take a hard look at your company culture, your ethical principles, your quality, how you do work, what systems and processes do you have to essentially, we're working together is what it feels like. We are. We collaboratively have to provide that solution as a team. And when I say team, I'm talking about, OC and MyPro together on, we're going to do it per manufacturer spec. We register every warranty. Like, that's another part of our system and process. But there is a very specific system and process we have in place so that we don't forget. And there's someone dedicated to doing that. So you and I die on a plane ride.
Speaking of dying, he just died.
Eventually,
it's okay, buddy.
if our distributor rep ever books the Cabo fishing trip we've been talking about for 2 weeks.
Well, the fish would be bigger.
The fish should be bigger for sure, because we ain't catching them. And if you know who we're talking about, if the shoe fits, we go
Yeah.
Cabo.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But if we die on that plane ride or jumping off in the, oh my gosh, remember that walrus that almost got me in the Sea of Cortez? Woo! Not what you would call a big man.
Big sea lion.
And that sea lion is about the size of a Volvo. And you couldn't see land, and I decided to cool off. But so that happens, and I actually die, and MyPro goes under. Well, all your warranties are registered with the manufacturer.
Yep.
And so they will assign another platinum contractor to facilitate any warranty, repairs, or work that's needed for the client, right?
And we document it. Like, there's been a couple of past projects on a company that we acquired, and the documentation wasn't there. And so it really kind of threw a wrench in the giddy up on getting that covered by the manufacturer, because there was no documentation. So we have documentation on exactly what was put on, the quantities and everything, and that is included in that warranty. Again, God forbid something happens to us, the next guy that's going to be handling that property has all the information.
So OC specifically, that one was a tough one to get. We had to earn it. You can't buy it. On the commercial division, MyPro Commercial Construction, those credentials are extremely difficult to get as well. I personally, I don't know, I always thought it was backwards. Now that we've got a lot more experience in the commercial roofing world, it makes a little more sense. What I'm getting at is, doesn't matter how financially solvent your company is, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how many classes you take or how many answers you can answer properly. It's, you know, the real manufacturers that are backing up their roofing system warranties in an NDL, no dollar limit warranty platform. You got to have a bunch of projects already done with their material for them to go back and look and say, okay, they've actually figured this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
That always irritated me, because it made it very difficult to accelerate our commercial division because of that challenge. But now it makes sense, because you don't want everybody getting in that world. It's a whole nother level. We have a completely separate division that does our commercial roofing. It's different teams, different project management, different training. But anyways, over years and years and years, we were able to earn again that Gold Star certification, which is a huge accomplishment that I'm proud of.